This video is going to show you exactly how one common morning habit, something millions of seniors do every day, could be damaging the brain and accelerating memory loss. You'll understand why the first hour after waking is when the brain is most vulnerable, how skipping one simple step can trigger confusion, and what to change tomorrow morning to protect brain health after 60. The signs of dementia don't always begin in hospitals. They often begin in the kitchen. We'll break down the hidden connection between hydration, glucose, and oxygen, and how the lack of these elements leads to brain fog, spatial disorientation, and senior memory decline. You'll learn what Maria changed in her routine to stop forgetting names, dates, and even why she walked into a room. This isn't about medication. It's about something practical, natural, and proven that most people still overlook. So stay close, because if you've noticed forgetfulness in elderly parents, or even in yourself, this might explain why. And what you learn here could help prevent early Alzheimer's, reduce elderly confusion, and protect the routines and memories that still matter. The brain's morning vulnerability after age 60. There's a hidden window of vulnerability that opens every single morning, and most seniors don't even know it. Right after waking up, the brain enters a delicate transition. Blood pressure is still adjusting, glucose is low, and the hippocampus, the part responsible for memory, is especially fragile. That's why many older adults like Maria feel a wave of brain fog, struggle to find their slippers, or forget what day it is. It's not just aging, it's the brain calling for support at its most sensitive hour. Now picture Maria standing by the kitchen sink. The sunlight is soft, the coffee is brewing, but something feels off. She picks up the same spoon twice, unsure if she already stirred the cup. These moments seem small, but they're signs. Early Alzheimer's doesn't shout, it whispers. And mornings are when it whispers loudest. Studies show that aging brain symptoms and cognitive decline often begin to show subtly during this early window, when brain health is still trying to stabilize after sleep. It's in this short span, roughly the first 30 to 60 minutes of the day, that seniors are more prone to elderly confusion, spatial disorientation, and even memory loss. That's why routines matter. What happens during these first moments can either protect brain health or accelerate the signs of dementia. And here's the twist. One simple thing most people skip in this window might be doing more harm than they think. How skipping one thing can trigger cognitive decline. Maria used to wake up, wash her face, and reach straight for her phone. No water. No breakfast. No pause to check how her body was really feeling. And it was in skipping this one seemingly harmless thing that her episodes of forgetfulness in elderly began to show. She paused trying to remember a neighbor's name. She opened the cabinet and forgot what she came for. Most people would call it distraction. But what if it's actually how Alzheimer starts? What she was missing was simple. The brain's first fuel of the day. By skipping hydration or delaying her first meal, Maria was leaving her brain underpowered. This increases the risk of hippocampus damage, worsens brain fog, and allows early dementia signs to quietly take root. Without glucose, hydration, and oxygen in those first waking moments, even a healthy mind begins to show aging brain symptoms like elderly confusion and senior memory decline. It's a silent chain reaction. A rushed choice in the morning becomes the doorway to cognitive decline. The upside. The brain also responds quickly to positive changes, especially when they happen first thing in the morning. But before we talk about how to fix it, we need to understand why 3 specific things, water, natural sugar, and fresh air, can shift everything for brain health after 60. The role of hydration, glucose, and oxygen in morning brain function. The aging brain doesn't ask for much, but what it does ask for, it needs urgently. Right after waking, the brain relies on 3 key elements to stabilize itself: hydration, glucose, and oxygen. These aren't luxury items. They're basic tools to protect brain health. A single glass of water can restore cellular balance. A small piece of fruit, like half a banana or a few berries, can provide the glucose needed to reawaken the hippocampus. And a few minutes of deep breathing can increase oxygen circulation to prevent that familiar brain fog. Maria didn't know this at first. She'd sip coffee but skip water. She'd eat toast at noon, but not a bite before 10 a.m. And most mornings, she'd stay inside with the curtains drawn. Over time, her forgetfulness grew. What seemed like normal mental decline after 60 was being shaped, quietly, by that morning deficit. No one told her that these tiny gaps in her morning routine could be contributing to spatial disorientation, elderly confusion, or even early Alzheimer symptoms. The fix isn't complicated, but it is intentional. A full glass of water before coffee. A small fruit or a tablespoon of oats. Breathing deeply by an open window, or stepping outside for 5 minutes of sunlight. These simple acts support brain chemistry and help reduce the risk of dementia signs. And while they may sound too simple to matter, Maria's story proves otherwise. Because one small habit she changed next made all the difference. Why some habits increase brain fog and forgetfulness in elderly. Not all habits are created equal. And some, despite feeling comforting, are quietly working against the aging brain. Take sugary breakfasts, for example. That sweet cereal or flavored yogurt might seem harmless, but they spike glucose and crash it within an hour. The result: brain fog, fatigue, and forgetfulness in elderly that feels like a cloud over the whole morning. Even worse, this pattern disrupts how the hippocampus stores and retrieves memories, increasing the risk of early dementia signs and senior memory decline. Another invisible culprit? Mental overstimulation too early. Maria used to scroll through news feeds or watch intense videos right after waking. Her brain, already vulnerable from low oxygen and hydration, was thrown into alert mode. This triggers cortisol, a stress hormone that can interfere with brain health and accelerate cognitive decline. For seniors, especially those already noticing signs of dementia, these habits can lead to moments where they feel lost, not just physically, but mentally. That's how a senior gets lost even in familiar places. Then there's the rush reflex, getting up and moving too quickly. It may seem like a sign of energy, but it reduces blood flow to the brain and causes spatial disorientation. Instead of giving the brain time to orient, we force it into action without fuel or direction. These seemingly small actions pile up. And Maria, she only realized the cost when a simple habit swap changed everything the very next morning. How one morning change helped Maria think clearly again. It wasn't a pill or a medical breakthrough that helped Maria reclaim her clarity. It was a single, intentional change in her morning routine. She started each day with a full glass of room temperature water, before coffee, before checking her phone. That alone reduced her morning dizziness. Then she added a small bowl of oats with a handful of blueberries. Within days, the brain fog began to lift. Maria stopped forgetting names mid-sentence and noticed fewer signs of dementia in her day-to-day rhythm. She also swapped her morning news for soft music and opened the window to breathe deeply for 5 minutes. These tiny rituals, hydration, gentle glucose, oxygen, calm, realigned her nervous system. They didn't just protect brain health. They gave her mind space to think. What once felt like early Alzheimer's now felt manageable. She no longer panicked when she forgot where she put her keys. Because the fear was fading, along with the confusion. Carlos noticed it too. He said, "Mom, you seem more like yourself lately." And she smiled, a real, knowing smile. That one morning habit became her anchor. A way to fight back against senior memory decline without fear or shame. And now, Maria is more confident, more present. But here's the real insight. If one small morning change had this much power, imagine what else could shift if we rethink our routines from the moment we open our eyes. She stood in front of the fridge again this morning, door open, milk in hand, but this time she remembered why she came. That moment, small as it was, felt like a victory. And maybe that's the real question. How many of these moments are being lost each morning? Simply because no one told you what the brain truly needs after waking? Have you ever stopped to wonder what's missing from your own routine? Or from your mother's? Could memory loss, confusion, or brain fog be more than just age? Because memory isn't just about facts. It's about the way your dad used to laugh at breakfast. The way your mom hums the same tune when she folds laundry. The way someone says your name and means it. What if protecting that doesn't start with a doctor, but with one small choice tomorrow morning? So now it's your turn. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. A daughter, a son, a caregiver. Subscribe to this channel. Not just for content but for clarity, for answers, for dignity. Because when the morning comes again, it's what you do in the first hour that could make the difference between fading and remembering.